Welcome to Pat Talks Law. My name is Patrick Nolan. I'm an attorney licensed in the state of Missouri. Today I'm here to talk to you about 3 critical tips for somebody going through a divorce. First, you should make sure that you protect the evidence. Second, financial planning. And third, make a safety plan for yourself and your children. First, protecting the evidence. Let's talk about what that means. When you're protecting the evidence in your case, you have to make sure that you secure copies of your tax returns, of any financial documents, the deeds for any real estate, copies of any life insurance policies. You want to make sure that you copy any pay stubs or bank statements. Secure all that. Get it somewhere outside of your house. Take it to a friend's. Take it to a family member. If you know you're hiring a lawyer, bring it to your lawyer. But get a copy away from your spouse so that you have your own copy to depend on. Now, you want to make sure that you know where the money is coming from in your marriage and where it is going. You do not want to be surprised to learn that your husband owns a 500-acre farm and you knew nothing about it. In a Missouri divorce, you will have to file a statement of marital assets and debts. This is a statement where you list out all of your property, all the marital property, all the premarital property, and who it should go to, what its value is, how much is owed on it, if there is a debt against it, who currently possesses it, you or your spouse, and who should get it in the divorce settlement, you or your spouse. That's for all the property, but it's also for all of the debts. Now, notice that the debt, while it may be a debt on a specific piece of property, doesn't have to go with the property. You could take the car and leave your spouse with the debt for the car. Of course, that sometimes leads into some dangerous situations. Now, you want to also make sure that you save any written communications between you or your spouse. And make sure that you have some way of recording telephone calls. Make sure that you record and keep all of your text messages. Make sure that you keep all of your Facebook messages. Make sure you keep everything that you send between your spouse and yourself. You want to make sure you have that because, quite frankly, if you don't, you could run into a situation where your spouse keeps copies of that communication and then surprises you with it. And remember, once you start recording your calls, Missouri is a one-party state. This won't necessarily apply to every state in the country. Some of them are 2-party states. Make sure you check your state laws if you are not in Missouri. You can verify that by going to Reporters Committee for Free Press, rcfp.org. When you do record calls, and this has been valuable to me in cases, it's amazing how you can play a recording and that sweet, polite person who's in front of the judge, and then the judge gets to hear what she's like when she's not in court. And it can make a big difference. But you must remember when you do that the judge is going to listen to how you act and sound on the phone too. Be polite, be courteous, be polite. Notice I said polite twice. Follow that. Don't talk to your significant other in a way that's going to embarrass you in front of the judge. Don't threaten them. For the love of God, don't threaten them with the kids. And remember, act as if someone's going to be listening to what you have to say, because they will. The judge is going to hear it, and you don't want to be embarrassed. Now, financial planning. The second portion of this is financial planning. Please don't forget, credit is a very important part of your financial future. Okay? One of you is going to keep the house. That spouse is going to have to make an equalization payment to the other and refinance the property. Pull your credit report before you get started. Check it out. Take a look at it. Make sure you pull your spouse's credit report or have your spouse pull their credit report and save a copy of it so you can see it too. If you don't have any credit in your name alone, it's time to start getting some. Even if it's a small store card, go to Menards, go to JCPenney, get a store credit card. Get something in your name and start building your own credit. Get your own savings account or your own checking account in your name alone. and set some money aside in that. You are going to need to be able to hire an attorney. You are going to need to be able to live on your resources for a period of time. And remember, when you get divorced, you are cutting your purchasing power as an individual significantly from what it was as a married couple. Having an independent account is going to give you a measure of personal freedom, even if you choose not to go forward with the divorce. It may help in the relationship because you'll know that you can take an action if you needed to. Now make a safety plan for yourself and your children. Divorce, it brings out a lot of emotions. You're going to grieve, your spouse is going to grieve. You know how your spouse reacts to stress. And you know how you react to stress. And you need to plan accordingly. Set up a safety plan. If you're scared that your spouse is going to hurt you or the kids when they find out that you're filed for divorce, you need to discuss that with your attorney at the first meeting. And you need to plan for it accordingly. Hopefully that plan is not going to be needed. But having planned for those options gives you the ability to react quickly and appropriately when necessary. Don't make false allegations. Don't accuse your spouse of sexually molesting the children. Don't accuse your spouse of domestic violence if they haven't done that. Remember, you loved this person once. You love them enough to have kids with them. Please, for the love of God, love your kids more than you hate your spouse now. But just because you love your kids and just because you're getting divorced doesn't mean you should not plan effectively going into it. You know you're going to need living expenses. You know you're going to have to hire an attorney. You know the divorce is going to cost money. Plan for that. Be proactive and be smart. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel.